Okay, back again. Okay, so and yeah, I'm trying to get better about that. You don't want a stream to go on too long if the audio is messed up or something like that. But back on the topic of these avoiding, uh, the kid wants to do such and such a project. As an adult, I feel like it's very, very valuable for you to do it and do it like I'm doing it now, so you can get into the whole play of it, the fun, how fun it is to do it. And I'm actually really getting into the mood. This is starting to look like something. Uh, and it's almost meditative, right? But like I did on the Legos show, and this is more just a straight Montessori thing. uh, One of the purposes of Montessori is to get kids faster doing stuff on their own, right? Really, the education is about kids. It's about the kids. It's not about you as an adult. This is a problem that we have with our system, our education system. The teachers are like, well, I have to get this certification and this license and all this stuff like that, and I have to do according to their plan and fulfill all these criteria, and then just to even be able to have this job, I have to pay all this money and do all this really stupid. So I see this phenomena, two aspects of it. First of all, I as a teacher am not supposed to be doing this. Supposed to get the kids. Professional teachers should get the kids to do it. Well, voice of experience. If you never do something, it's a lot to ask. It's a lot to ask to expect the kids to do it. They want to be an adult. They want to grow up, right? If you don't do any of these things like that, I can't do that. That's kid stuff. The kids are going to do the same thing. They're like, I'm not doing that. It's kid stuff, right? You shouldn't do that because this is, it's good. It's a good meditative experience. And my daughter, if you're watching the stream, my daughter was in here earlier and really wanted to do this and paint on it, but it's a big long project, and she got tired and she went about her business, which is fine. But and she's with her mom or whatever. They're doing something. So when my daughter gets tired, she knows where I am. She can come and find me. Um, but when she does find me, this is the key. She'll be like, "Oh, you've just been painting away this whole time. I want to do that. I want to be like that. Somebody that paints the whole thing. Right? That's amazing. Because I got bored. I had to go do something else. Right?" And she's like, "How did you get to where you painted the whole thing? That's interesting. I want to work on." And it is. You know, I shared guilt. I was not on the ball enough to get this mobile project done. But I was like, bye, Genghis. I'm going to do it. Right? So I stayed with it. And eventually this opportunity came up. I'm using the wrong paint. I should just dawn on me. I'm not using the paint that came with this set. So is it coming off? Yeah, it is. It's coming off on my hand. It's the wrong paint. It's not drying permanent. It's drying like tempera paint. But hey, I totally attention deficited the fact that I wasn't using the paint that it came with, because the paint that it came with ended up being hidden in the kitchen cabinet by someone who didn't want the baby to find it. I may have been complicit. Certainly might have been. But that doesn't make it right. And I'm paying for it now, right? Because now my fingers are turning blue. But I'm sticking to my guns. I'm gonna take this to the end. This is the Milky Way galaxy thing of the mobile what is it supposed to look color? It just sort of looked kind of blue or something. And I know it's probably wrong or whatever. Not how the project is supposed to be done. But I'm still doing it anyway. And you know, and I noticed my mom would try to do paper folding sometimes on her own because yeah, and it inspired me to do more. She would do paper folding and she couldn't figure out how to do it. And I was like, I can't figure it out either. But you know, watching her trying to figure it out, it really helped me get to a place where I was like, I'm gonna sit down and figure out how to fold these origamis. And I forgot how to do it. I certainly did. Um, but you know what? I'm 6 minutes into the stream, and I'm looking at the time. It's sort of closing in on bedtime, and I got my 3 hours in. I'm gonna see if I need to go and get off the stream and do some technical things. Transfer the day's files, export the day's files to YouTube, and I'll come back to this. But so yeah, almost done. Yeah, this one's completely done. Looks kind of nice. Looks almost like a mobile. Okay, maybe I can shellac it or something, cover it with Mod Podge or something to seal back that. But we'll find out the next time. And I'm gonna leave it right here. Gonna wash my brush out like a good boy. See if I can see. And this is the palette that we're using. You see these wonderful palettes. We should, if we're going to paint the whole solar system, we should use the whole palette, shouldn't we? Maybe, we'll see, but we're going to keep it out because it's a perfect work area that we have. And we're going to do it until it gets done. Alright, so I'm putting the paintbrush into the holder thing. Okay, that's done. Clean up, everybody, let's clean up. Clean up, put your books away, put your things away. Okay, so I'm putting this, so I've got a little pencil holder thing, I'm going to put that over there. And, dang it, my little ring or whatever to close the paint mason jar thing is missing. See if I can find it. Oh, and back to, I guess I should conclude on the books thing. Look at this. Modern Islamic, let's see. Modern Islamic political thought. Very interesting. I'd like to read that. Okay. This is the Brainy Book of Handwriting. And it needs to go on this shelf here. And as you can see, you know, I'm not to a point of getting, and this is my thing. I'm starting the next Amazon, and I've come up against a lot of obstacles. I still, you know, I got good at getting books, and lots of good books. You need to get, if you're going to sell them, you need to get them in bulk, right? You need to find motivated sellers, and I want to share this. You know, I think it's a good, wholesome business to make a bookstore and to stay away from Amazon. Amazon burns books, right? They say they destroy your books for free at the end of every year. People that burn books will burn people, right? So and I'm sorry, Jeff, but think about this. You know, you're not the same person. Bill Gates, you're not the same person you were before you got all that money. And I'd like to start a business not for money. I've got a roof over my head. My house is almost paid for. I don't need anything but my health, really, and the love of the special people in my life, right? I don't need money. I'd love people to stop the environment from being destroyed. So anything I can share to help you if you want to do this. First of all, you're going to hit a lot of obstacles, and I did. And part of the reason I'm doing a books stream is because books are a major part of my life, right? And one thing, I'm better now at getting books in large volumes than I am at putting them online one by one, because I'm not fixed about how the books are going to be organized, and I've come up against various obstacles in working out how to have a bookstore. Anybody that is doing it, I would love if we could, you know, maybe we could interact on our streams together, talk about books and our love of books and our struggles with our tendencies to want to be around a lot of books. You know, because it's difficult for people who are not like that to live with people like us, right? But I want to continue to have the show in here in the main book room now, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done. As you can see, um, very little got done during the show because I've got ADHD, and I do the spot, and I'm embracing it. But I got a lot of I actually I've, I'm I don't see. Well, some people might say, "Oh, everybody's so very hyperactive person," right? But at my age, I thought I had mellowed out, but I got a lot of criticism at my school this year, to the point where I just quit because they hired a new teacher who said, I told her I don't medicate. She was, that's unacceptable. Mentally, you have you got attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. You're not taking your medication. I'm gonna tell everybody. This guy's crazy. Yeah, it happened. And I went around. I said, this is a thing that happened too. Yeah, I know I've got hyperactivity disorder or whatever you say. It's a disorder. Yeah, I went to Miss Cook, the head of my department. I moved over into special ed at the school, and I was trying to tell her, I was like, I lost a lot of weight, Miss Cook, and I'm really hyper. I really need to constantly be doing stuff. That's a thing when you have hyperactivity. It's not some people that don't have it, they're like, man, I'm tired. I want to let me just sit here and look at the clock for a while. I can't take it, to go full tilt, running up and down the hall all day long. Well, think about this, man. When you really have hyperactivity, what if you cannot sit still? I cannot. Right? So I was going up and down the hall. She wasn't going to have none of it. I said, well, I'm hyperactive. I'm not trying to. She's like, if you do it that way, it's going to make me look bad. That's what she said. I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt her, but the school's closing this year anyway. She'll have her job till the end of the year, so I guess I could talk about it now. First of all, she said, if you do your job like this, running up and down the hall, it's going to be like, you're going to make me look bad, right? Because I don't want to do that. I don't want to run up and down. I'm tired. She's 70. I don't have that kind of energy. So she decided she really had to come down on me hard. And I went around. I told Miss Cook, I was like, I'm really hyper, and I don't know if people who are not really understand that it means I really need to keep doing stuff. I need to keep studying. I need to always and at the when I decided to quit my teaching job, uh, I had seen a little girl adding sums in the billions so fast, and they were all correct. She is a straight F student, never turned in any math problem with a single thing correct. And she made it abundantly clear. She said, "I want to be here, and I am not going to cooperate with y'all in any way, shape, or form. I want to be homeschooled." Right? I need to call. Okay. Um, wait, wait. I don't think I ever told him that. But this thing happened. This is part of why I'm saying, yeah, I'm ADHD. What of it? Right? I mean, I told my brother, I was like, yeah, or are we sure that it's something wrong? Because he's like, oh, I've got it, oh no, I was not diagnosed. Oh, and he gets all frustrated and angry and stuff. I don't get frustrated and angry. I know when I know my mind goes all over the place. I know it does. It's going to come back. Yeah, it still does. It's because it's lit up like my mind is different. I'm not going to fight internally, which I observe ADHD people doing. They're in an internal, they know they've been told they're messed up, and they're having an internal warfare to try and shut their brain down and pretend like they're, that's part of the medication. You take the medication, and your brain, you're even more, but you're able to, like, oh, I know everybody wants me to sit here and be quiet, right? But you're sort of like, zzz, I can even be even more like this, right? But I'm capable now of pretending like I'm not, without getting bent out of shape. I'm able to do one thing over and over again, even if it's a stupid thing that I don't want to do, right? That's what the medication helps you do. But when I quit that school, I saw a little girl that was tagged as just, she is so ADHD, she's tier this and tier that, and there's no hope for her. I saw her doing 50 billion sums so fast, and I tried to do it as fast as she could. I couldn't do it as fast as she could. They were all correct. They were going by. I saw it on the computer. I ran down the hall to verify it was her. I looked through the window. She's sitting there doing it. She was not doing it on the calculator. And you can't do those sums that big on a calculator anyway. That's why they give them that big of a sum in the fifth grade, because it won't fit, and you'll get a e to the something, times 10 to the something power, and it'll go to decimal or whatever. They give them that in the fifth grade to make sure that they've got their arithmetic down. She was like doing it. And when I quit, I was like, okay, you sound mentally defective or whatever like that. You can. I don't want to mess up the school and hurt children. I quit. Just walked out. They're like, no, don't quit. You got the best numbers of anybody in the school. And I was like, yeah, but I'm through. I had enough. Right? Tired of it. I want to go on. If what if my daughter is hyperactive? She might be hyperactive, and I want her to not get messed up in her education if she is. I want to be there for her to help her navigate, because I'm not. I had, when I was in the third grade, and it's a long story, but I had a mental health professional evaluate me, and at the end of the evaluation, he said there's nothing wrong with him. It's the society that has something that's dysfunctional. So honored by that. There's a lot of details to that story, but I'd like to be supportive as I can. If you have a child with ADHD, or ADD is kind of the less malignant one. Maybe it's, did anybody, any mental health professional tell you it's the whole society. There's nothing wrong with your child. It's the society that has something wrong with it because there's a lot of truth to that. There's a lot of truth to it. Society's messed up. So messed up. Jonah needs to throw ashes on his face and go through Nineveh right now and proclaim, you know, God's going to strike if you guys don't repent. Right, it's a real story. All right, so we'll see you next time. Take care. And I'm going to go try to get ADHD life in order. I'll try to get back on as soon as I can. Maybe I'll play some Macarena later on tonight.